What's up, my brothers and sisters? I hope you're having a fantastic day. I don't know if you knew this or not, but when I first got into the idea of sleep consulting and integrative sleep coach, one of the things that went through my mind is the ability to get Rebbe Nachman of Breslov's teachings out into the world in a unique fashion. And I want to do a little bit of that today. One of the greatest speakers that I have in my life right now is a guy named Gedalia Fenster, and he has a daily podcast. You could log into it. Tons of really good information, but it is mainly geared from a Jewish perspective. So if you have a non-Jewish listener, there may be some things in there that are going to maybe not quite resonate in the same way because of some of the wording or the language. He does have non-Jewish followers, and I'd highly recommend it. But a lot of what I'm doing now is I will listen to what he has to say, and then I might try to rewrite that a little bit. And then I use some of that into my sleep coaching videos and podcasts. So I wanted to share with you guys today something specifically that I was reading from one of the industry forums that I'm part of, as well as tie in with the lesson that he was giving today. So let me tell you about the fact that we have obviously the sleep coaching, the sleepsherpa.com is our integrative sleep coaching. If somebody needs a holistic way of looking their entire life to help them find the sleep that their body and their mind deserve and need, then the sleepsherpa.com is the way that we are going about helping people in that regard. I also have a small landscape curbing business in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and that is a business that enhances landscapes with a custom stone border. Now, my relationships in both of those different worlds have kind of a convergence, which is really interesting. And what I'm seeing is the need for people to help unload some of the anxiety that they have in their lives. Because a lot of times what we have is we have a lot of doubt. And we say, is my relationship going to work out? Am I going to make money? Like all of those types of worries and doubts. And I don't think it matters where we are working, but all of us have those types of pressures that come upon us. And what ends up happening is we need to move away from the doubt and into a certainty. And I want to talk a little bit about today about how you would go about having that certainty. Because when we have all that doubt, it increases the anxiety, increasing the doubt, increasing the anxiety like a circular thing. And that is keeping us from winning. It's keeping us from sleeping. It's keeping us from being fantastic business owners and helping other people the way that we'd hope to help them. So we got to move to clarity and certainty instead of doubt. And having faith is not a belief. It is a certainty. Faith is a certainty. So let's take a moment and contemplate how much uncertainty and doubt that we've been having in our lives over the last month. If you were to weigh out how much uncertainty that you've had, you'll see how much time is lost to zero benefit thinking. There's no benefit at all in your worry. The benefit comes from action. If you were in a fight or flight scenario, a bear is chasing you, you might have this worry where you say, oh my goodness, a bear is chasing me, but that is leading you to action so that you can do something about it. And different functions happen in your body to make sure that if you did get scratched by the bear, your blood clots faster, maybe you have an excited level so that you could run faster, etc. But we have all these anxieties where our body tends to think that a bear is attacking us, but it's not really attacking us. But we end up in this cycle of anxiety and having all of these elevated things in our body causing many, many other issues. But there's zero benefit to just sitting around and worrying. So the benefit's going to come in our action. And now is the time for action. What is the key to gaining certainty? One of them is to learn something. We're not guaranteed 100% certainty in our lives, but if we have preparation for something, and preparation is learning, then we can eliminate a lot of the doubt, and that will enable us to go into action mode, right? So whenever you have doubt, a lot of times you sit around and you're just like, I don't think that's going to work out. And you have these negative thoughts about why it's not going to work out, and that prohibits you from doing anything about it. So we want to get out of the negative thinking and move into action and winning the mental war that we have in our lives so that we can move forward. For example, in our landscape edging business, this year we have changed how we are trying to target who we are selling to. Why? Well, because we've tried selling again and again and again to the same section, the same group of people, the same target audience for lots of years. And it is not doing what we would like to do. So we are trying to redefine that, because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting different results. We want different results out of what we've been doing. So we want to change what we're doing. Not everything is what you think it is. A lot of times we're using our imagination. For example, when I'm reading on the forum today, somebody says, well, why are so much equipment? Why are so many people going out of business and I see their equipment for sale? And a lot of the reaction is on the negative side. They are imagining that the economy is the problem. There's a downfall in this, prices are higher, etc. And all of those things, while they might have some element of truth to them, the input causes them to have a mindset that everything has a negative, that it's all bad. So what we need to do is we need to change that mindset by using our imagination for the good, because not everything is the way that we see it. So we have to realize that when we have that negativity, we say, oh, the economy is bad and I'll never be able to sell anything. Prices are more increased. People are not going to buy from me, etc. Right? That negativity needs fuel in order for it to survive. And we are giving it that fuel with that negative talk. So if you want the negativity to stop, you just don't feed it. And how do you not feed it? You go in the opposite direction. You start killing everything with kindness. Kill the people around you with kindness. Anytime that you have a difficult situation with a partner or with a friend or with a client, I've found in business, when I have a difficult client, whether it's somebody who's looking to hire us or someone who's already hired us and we're doing the best thing that we can for them, and they have a problem, is to kill them with kindness. Because as soon as I begin to argue with them and try to work against them, right, then more difficulty comes, more negativity comes. Same thing at home. You start working against your spouse or against your kids, more and more negativity builds and becomes a problem. And then you're in the doghouse. So I want to instead go exactly the opposite way and go at it with joy and try to kill them with kindness. This way, I have the opportunity not only to kill my evil inclination, the one thing that's telling me that I deserve this, things are horrible, and always keeping me in the down mode and in the victim mode, but I can kill my own evil inclination by fighting that with joy. But I'm also helping to damage their evil inclination with my joy. So I know there is an incredible amount of negativity in the world, but we have to fight for the joy. Rabbi Nachman says it's the greatest thing, but it's the hardest thing. This is one of the things that Gedalia was talking about today, that joy is the greatest thing, but also the hardest thing. So we really have to work on it like a muscle, like we're building a muscle by trying to go to joy, and even to the point of stealing it from another time when we don't currently have it. When we find that there's absolutely no reason for us to be positive right now, that we steal that positivity from some other location, from some other time in the future, and we use it right now. Negativity is going to feed anxiety. So you spend a lot of time on the negative side of our brains, right? You're no good. You're not going to be able to survive. You don't have the education. You don't have the looks. You don't have whatever it happens to be, all the stuff that we all tell ourselves on a regular basis. We're constantly like hypnotizing ourselves to the negative. In the sleep coaching industry, one of the things that I'm doing is I'm helping people through access their subconscious mind and help them through hypnosis. And what we do is we go in and we try to help them use their own words to tell their subconscious what they want to do, what they want to achieve. It's a brilliant way of doing it. And we can use hypnosis on ourselves to the opposite direction of what we typically do. Typically, we're hypnotizing ourselves to say we're no good. What we want to do is we want to hypnotize ourselves that we are quite amazing. People will even say, hey, and I'm sure you've heard this, when you wake up in the morning, go in the mirror, tell yourself you love you 10 times. I love you. 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 So we're building the positive in our lives. The negativity feeds the anxiety. A lot of times what will happen is that we have this negativity that we're experiencing. It adds to the anxiety, and then you get into that cycle of negative and anxious. It's no wonder that you can't perform. It's no wonder you can't sleep. It's no wonder your brain is racing all night long because of the negativity that you have going on. So you have to make a change. If you are on the conscious mind thinking about something that is negative, your intellect is weak. You have a thing where it says, this is not going to work out. Then you can use your emotions to put your intellect more in check. I'm going to create more of a fire in myself because I want to engage more creativity. And I'm going to use my emotions to do that. So I'm picking up the intellect with my emotions. If my emotions are going crazy and I'm throwing fits, then I'm going to use my intellect to calm myself down. I'm going to try to balance my life and get that balance between the intellect and emotion, because they fuel each other. One of the things that we really need to realize is that darkness, so we're looking around and we say, wow, that's a really bad scenario right there. That looks horrible to me. I don't understand how anything good could come from that. Darkness always comes before light. Open up the Bible and you see in the beginning, it was evening and it was morning, day, whatever, right? Darkness before light. That is how the world works. And to the extent of the darkness, that is the extent of the light that you're going to have happen. So, however bad things appear to be, you should be at least that excited for the things that's going to be good that's going to come, because that is exactly how it happens. The problem in your life is actually creating the light that you will have in the future. So like a workout, I grab the weight, I'm lifting it, it's hard. The more lift I do, the stronger I will become. If I decide not to work out, if I decide not to eat well, automatically I become fat and lazy and tired. So the default mode is to go towards the negative and to just fall off the wagon. So you have to engage the muscle. I have to go to the gym and I have to lift the weight if I want the result of a larger muscle. If I don't want to be lazy and fat, I need to make sure that I am feeding myself correctly and exercising. If I don't wake up in the morning and pray, I'm automatically going to be full of indecision. I'll be full of anxiety because I didn't have that time to put myself in the right mode. The evil inclination that we all have, it wants to keep us down. It wants to keep us focused on, like, I'm just going to entertain myself. It bogs you down in work. Oh, I got so much work to do. I don't have any time to work on myself. That's one of the things that I run into myself quite often is I say, I've got so much work to do, so much I need to accomplish so that I can make sure that I'm doing this, and therefore I don't really have time to go to the gym. It's like the guy sitting on the tree with the saw and like he's cutting the wrong branch, or even worse, he's cutting the tree and the saw is dull, and you come up to him and say, hey, if you really need to sharpen the saw. He's like, I can't sharpen the saw. Look at all the work that I have in front of me. I have to cut all these trees down. I have no time to sharpen the saw. We can't think of it like that. We have to go for what we want, and we have to work on ourselves, and we have to get to where we have a place to grow. Because if we're not putting the input in, then we are not going to grow. You have to get what you want. You have to go for what you want. And this is what dopamine is for. If you hit a goal, you set a goal and you hit the goal, you get dopamine. But You can have a fake charge of dopamine from entertainment. I'm watching this movie. It's so exciting. Or Facebook, somebody likes my post, etc. Right? So those types of things, getting these little hits, are keeping me from reaching the actual goal and getting the real dopamine that would enable me to hit goals and to continue to be greater and greater. So the energy, as Gedalia was saying this morning, the energy is not going to go away. It's either going to be for the positive or it's going to be for the negative. So if I don't work on myself, I automatically go to resenting myself. So the key is begin to imagine. Don't catastrophize. Don't say on the forum, how come all of these people are going out of business? Wow, I think I'm also going out of business. Don't catastrophize. Push your thoughts where you want to go. Fight for what you want. Then you don't automatically get what you don't want. I'm sure the people looking at those posts don't want to go the same direction as they've seen other people go. So you have to fight for what you do want. The energy is not going to go away. You're either going to go one way or the other. So push yourselves to imagine the good. Rabbi Nachman says you cannot think about two things at the same time. Your mind can't be focused on this thing and that thing at the same time. So decide which one of those you're going to focus on, and wherever you're going to go or whatever you want to focus on, because wherever your focus is, that's where the energy goes. Wherever your focus goes, that's where energy flows. So if I start focusing on the positive, I imagine, hey, wow, that guy actually went out of business. There's an opportunity for me right there. He's got equipment that is a third of the price if I had to buy something new. I could actually add a separate team because now I have double equipment, or I have backup equipment because that guy went out of business. I'm not happy that he went out of business. God forbid that he had to go out of business, but it's probably the best thing for him. And likely it's also the best thing for me. So maybe getting out of that complete industry was the best thing for him. Maybe getting out of that industry is the best thing for me too. Maybe it's great for me that they left. Maybe I actually need to leave. But those types of answers are not going to come unless you have personal, private prayer time. You're not going to know, should I go this way or should I go that way, without that personal, private prayer, because prayer is above nature. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't be smart and see things how they are and be able to make decisions. But what I'm saying is that joy helps enable you to be in the mindset that you need in order to make the decision to act, to go in the direction that you want to go. Prayer is above nature. So if I'm seeing things going a certain way, I should be praying. We should be praying for everything that we need, everything that we want, all of our desires. We should be lifting them to God in heaven and asking for help. So how do I know if I'm going to go this way or if I'm going to go that way? Make sure that you are praying about that. And laughter. Laughter connects us to the infinite. Likely you're like me. You're way too dramatic. You see something, it's like, oh my goodness, how am I going to ever? So much drama. So let's cut the movie, cut the drama, and do something fun. Joy is your ticket. So you've got a candle in your life. You just have to light it up. So I'm going to tell you the biggest thing that you can do today to try to move from that mindset of negativity into a mindset of positivity where you can actually make decisions and move forward is to laugh at your problems. That's right. Laugh at your problems. Even though there is no possible way that you could think that anything good would come from it, begin to laugh. Go in the opposite direction of the way that you're feeling. Stay out of victim mode. Oh, the economy. Oh, the environment. Oh, the president. Like blah, blah, blah. Oh, this. Get out of victim mode. That guy did this to me. That girl did this to me. I'll never be happy. Whatever. Get out of the victim mode and go in the opposite direction. Thank you, God, that person did that to me. Wow. I can't believe, oh, wow. Thank you so much. There must be so much good that's coming from that. Lighten up. Chill out. Don't worry. Be happy now. That is actually a good mode to be thinking about, because my worry is not getting me to the place that I want to be, but my happiness is getting me to a place where I can make the decisions to move in the direction that I want to move. Thank you guys so much for listening. Have an awesome, dacious day.